sky. Oh yeah. Like a honeybee taking off that really shouldn't fly. Oh yeah. Like a snowflake falling down on a summer day. It's just amazing. It's a million to one, million to one. It really couldn't be. Oh, 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 oh. You're my kind of one of a kind. Oh, 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 oh. I'm gonna get out there and say it, 'cause there ain't gonna be one more like you, no. Ain't gonna be one more like you, no. Ain't gonna be. I could search high and low, but I know that there ain't gonna be one more like you, no. You're my kind of one of a kind. Like a black swan swimming about in a sea of white. Oh yeah. Like a bouncer Saturday night acting really nice. That can't be right. Like the most beautiful girl in the world hitting up your phone. It's so wrong. It's a million to one, million to one. It really couldn't be, really shouldn't be. Oh, 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 oh. You're my kind of one of a kind, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. I'm gonna get out there and say it, 'cause there ain't gonna be one more like
Everyone should post on your like.
It ain't gonna be.
Push the like button.
Kind.
In a world with no production value, a man decided to recap The Bachelor. And now, available only on Patreon, you can see Vintage Dave.
Okay, hello, this is my first review of Bachelor Season 20 with Ben Higgins.
This is against Dave Neal, by the way.
You cut the crap.
Daryl's screaming Dave.
That's rubbish, Dave.
Dave Neal's making a clip of it.
I have been wondering this so much lately. Like, how did Dave Neal rise to prominence in the YouTube space when there are so many women who cover the show with such thought and nuance?
In a world of mediocrity, where the cocktail parties keep getting canceled, a power recap empire like no other. Prepare to digress. Prepare to be disgruntled. Prepare to be informed. Prepare to be entertained. Oh my god. Rise your finger up and onto the like button.
Push the like
Prominent
button.
this video an odd number of times. It's time to rise with prominence with Bachelor Nation News. And your host, the one, the only, Dave Neal.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get ready to rumble. It's your boy Dave Neal, stand-up comedy. Oh no! Hold on a second. How's everyone doing? I didn't have the camera on. That big build-up. That's what you get. That's what you get when you try to do something cool. You don't have the camera on. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, week 4, Bachelorette is a wrap. What did you guys think? We have tons of voicemails to get to, tons to talk about here. I tell you what, didn't look good for Rachel. Not gonna rain on her parade, okay? Not a situation I've ever been in, not a situation you've ever been in, a tough situation. Yeah, she's got this older kind of friend named Gabby who's looking like she's fallen in love, and Rachel's still upset. She just broke up with Clayton, and now she's saying, at least Clayton made me feel important. Wild stuff. Wild stuff indeed. Hey Casey, how are you? Ships ahoy. I put the hoe into ahoy. That's what I do. All right, I'm going to play some of your voicemails because I'm sure there are a lot of them. Let's get right into it. Hear what you have to say about tonight's episode.
Hi, Dave. This is Nicole in Dallas. I just want to say a few things. First, I want to say that I think when you have somebody that's upset whenever something's going good for another friend, in the instance where Rachel got upset when the date was going really well for Gabby, granted it was because nobody was paying attention to her, but really I think it has to do with insecurities. I just think that Rachel is a big friendship red flag. Secondly, I feel really bad for Logan, which is, I know it sounds crazy to say, he should have definitely spoken up before, well, he hasn't spoken up yet, but he should have spoken up by now.
Hey, Celeste.
However, I get that he's in like a really difficult, position. Although I do also think the editors, I think he's getting a really good edit because I think he is a producer fave. You mentioned they've been trying to get him on the show for a long time. So that's just where I'm at. Love Gabby as always. Still want Gabby to end up with Nate. And that's that on that. Oh, and Hayden sucks. Hey, have a good night. Bye.
Hayden. Oh yeah. By the way, Hayden sucks. Okay, good. Very nice. Great first voicemail to kick this party off. Yeah, I saw this tweet from someone, my boyfriend, summing it up. I'm sorry, but Rachel seems to get upset every time Gabby gets attention and not her. Am I wrong? Well, here's the deal. What we see in Rachel's in the moment doesn't always, it's like she might be filming that end of the night. She gets emotional. She's feeling a certain way. Producers are egging her on. We don't know. That doesn't always line up with how she's doing on the date. You know what I mean? So I think the producers are leaning in on some insecurities of Rachel. And look, I like Rachel as a person. She wears her heart on her sleeve. She's a little bit messy. She's walking in there like she's the teacher. She's like the teacher who goes out to get a sip of water at the bubbler. That's what us Rhode Islanders call it. And she comes back in and there's spitballs flying in the classroom and she's like, "Hey!" And then everyone's like, and then she's like, and they're like, "This is angry teacher Rachel." You know what I mean? That's kind of look. All right. She's she doesn't have, that's what's kind of funny is that, Rachel, Gabby was accused of being rough around the edges, but, Rachel's kind of rough around the edges. I mean that respectfully. She's going to tell you how she feels. Rachel ruminates, though. And I don't blame her. I would probably ruminate, too. Okay? I would probably ruminate, too. But a situation goes sideways in her head, and she thinks about it over and over until she needs to talk about it. Kind of like Claire.
Hi, Dave. This is Mary from Wisconsin. I'm excited to watch the after show live chat, but I'm just really surprised with the edit this episode because I feel like in the past they've balanced showing both Rachel and Gabby's insecurities, and this whole episode I feel like was just an attempt to destroy Rachel.
Wow.
I'm wondering if the producers just are starting to like Gabby more. What do you think's going on?
Great question.
Anyway, can't wait to listen to you. Thanks for all you do. Bye.
Bye. Mary in Wisconsin. Great question. Look, I think the producers will take whatever's given to them. And I think Rachel is giving them a lot of tears, emotional responses, insecurities, and they're going with it. Gabby mentions over and over, like Gabby says she thinks she's a hot mess, but Gabby's way more evolved emotionally than I think she's giving herself credit for. Lots to get into, lots to talk about. Let's keep going.
Hi, Dave. It's Emily from Pennsylvania. Are
Hey,
you worried
girl.
about me? Yeah, I'm okay. I only missed 45 minutes of The Bachelorette, so looking forward to your recap. Yeah, just want to say that ending was crazy. I can't wait to see you next week. And also, I'm glad that everyone made it to next week. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. All right, thanks. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much. You missed 45 minutes, but you caught the only part you needed, the very end. Lots of voicemails at barrel through 'em.
Hi, Dave Neal. Chrissy G from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Hello.
I have an idea. Just like the law tubers on YouTube covered the Depp and Amber Heard case, which they all came in like on a Zoom call. How about if Reality Steve asked the Batch Nation questions to see who knows the most about Batch Nation? Game of Roses, Chatty Bros, Chatty Broads, and drumroll, Dave Neal, the Power Recapper.
I don't pretend to know much.
Who would win? I'm putting my money on Dave Neal, the Power Recapper.
I'm not. No, thank you so much. No, I am not. I'm not a trivia guy. Thank you so much for the call. I'm not a trivia guy. I wouldn't put money on myself winning that bet, but thank you so much for calling.
Yellow. It's
Yellow.
Nadine from Canada. Just watching the show right now, and I am anticipating a lot of anti-crying Rachel feelings, and I have to say, I just feel so bad for her. On Twitter, I'm seeing a lot of discourse against how she's dealing with this, but I think she's being super vulnerable, very honest, and probably super real about this process, and I can't help but like her. Anyways, enjoy the show.
Thank you so much for the call. Yes, listen, I'm giving as much grace as possible to Rachel. It's got to be tough. If I were her dad, I'd be so mad at Bachelor producers for even having her in this situation. But at the same time, I think I'll say this. Our audience is mainly women, and I think it's easy to see Rachel as an emotional person and understand that you've been that place before. You've been that emotional place. We all have, where you look stupid, you say stupid things, you feel stupid because your emotions are getting the best of you. All I ask is we hold that same grace for the guys who are also just spiritual beings trying to figure things out in this world when they say or do dumb stuff or look stupid as well. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to try to give that same grace towards some of the men as I'm also going to give to Rachel and say, look, she didn't come off well. I would never be the one to sort of, excuse me, I've got some Coke Zero burps here. I would never be the one to sort of slam somebody for not coming off well. But does that mean I'm going to lie to myself? No, she obviously didn't come off well. But also at the same time, I feel like a lot of that was, the producers stepping on the scale of injustice right there. So people say, it's not your date, so don't be mad. Be happy you made Meatball happy. Some other comments there. That's what happens when you attend someone else's date. Rachel making Gabby's date all about her. See, Rachel, this is why you should have just not went on Gabby's date. I mean, yikes. You know what I mean? The man, okay, so not looking good. Let's see some other comments. Here's a quick one. That's not one. Here's Mimi in Pittsburgh.
Hi.
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
Dave, it's Mimi from Pittsburgh again. I just wanted to call and let you know that Bachelor Nation's going to be on Celebrity Family Feud this coming Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern time. I don't know what time that would be for you.
5.
But I just thought I'd let you know in case you wanted to catch it.
Thank you
Bye.
so much. Appreciate you. Thank you for the heads up. We've got Michelle Young and Nate, when they were still together, from Family Feud. It'll air this coming Sunday. Hey, Kim's in the chat. How are you, Kim? All I have is love for Rachel. The world is hard. Amen to that. The world is tough. And Rachel said that getting rejected by those guys was the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to her. My thought was, you've never shit your pants, Rachel. Come on, that wouldn't have made a top 10 list for this month, if as far as I'm concerned. But I understand what she's saying. All right, here we go. Let's go to Katie Rose in Dallas.
Dave, this is Katie Rose from Dallas. Are you kidding me with that intro? Chef's kiss. That was absolutely incredible. I just want to say thank you for putting a smile on my face. I've had such a hard last week, and I feel like that was the first time I genuinely laughed. So thank you. That was amazing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I didn't even hear the part. The intro. You liked my intro. Okay, I understand. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Sorry you had a hard week. I hope this current week gets better. You just got to decide. Do you live in a friendly world or a hostile world? I think you live in a friendly world, but it can still be a tough one. Not going to glaze over that. Runner X says, while not condoning Hayden's behavior, anytime I see a montage of clips with someone speaking, I see a story the show is putting together and have to question where each of those clips came from. I agree. I'd have to rewatch it, and listen, guys, I'm not saying Hayden didn't say awful things. I just don't believe it anymore. I don't believe it unless I see an unedited clip what he's talking about. Was he comparing? I don't know. I know some of the things we saw him say, but let's not pretend like we're smarter than the producers in the way they edit the show. So, like Runner X said, I'd have to rewatch it and see what he exactly said before I cast too much of a judgment on him. All right, Karen in Canada, you're up.
Hey, Dave, it's Karen from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. I'm very disappointed how the producers showed Rachel tonight. But I'm looking at your screen and it says, I'm sorry, but Rachel seems to get upset every time Gabby gets attention and not her. Am I wrong? Does everyone forget last week when Gabby was getting upset when Rachel was getting the attention? Just saying. I hope everyone's having a great night. Bye.
Karen, thank you so much for putting it that way. We have breaking news. Rachel Recchia says, I had a breakdown. Welcome to the club. So there it is. She had a breakdown. Welcome to the club. It happened on a boat, and it was with cameras on. That happens. No big deal. NBD, yeah, you know me. Damon's up.
Hey, Dave. Damon from Virginia here.
Hey, Damon.
Hey, I love Rachel. She's doing everything right. Those guys need to step up. I will say that I'm mad at Jesse. Jesse knew that if someone rejects her rose, he's going to take it away from her. And he could have, this isn't a game. These are these women's hearts. He could have given them a heads up. He could have said, hey, you need to talk to them beforehand. But he should have done something so that someone who's not interested in Rachel gets her rose and takes that opportunity away from someone else. That's on Jesse and that's on the producers.
Yeah, I hear you. Thank you so much. We have some Rachel love. See, Rachel, you're a friend of the community. We like Rachel. Listen, I bet you Rachel would be a good friend. Someone earlier said that Rachel would be a friendly red flag, but we have to understand they're kind of, Rachel and Gabby seem to be good friends here, but at the same time, they have their different handlers. People had mentioned earlier, why didn't Logan talk to Rachel? The fact that the show knows, okay, look, guys, the fact that the producers know that Logan wants to get with Gabby now and not Rachel, they know that they just had this Hayden thing happen. They need to stretch this drama out, okay? So they're going to stretch it out. They're not letting Logan go anywhere near Rachel, okay? So just understand how that works. Tiffany in the chat. Hey, how are you, Tiffany Campbell? Good to see you. Said people ratting people out is so unattractive. Yeah, and obviously the producers are, and again, I hate to take away the aura of this whole thing and be like, well, it's all producer driven. We just, did Hayden actually say those things? I mean, look, I'm not defending him. I'd have to rewatch it. I don't know if you guys know, when I was watching this show, I was uploading the Maddie Pruitt proposal. I was doing all these other things. I miss things all the time. Sometimes I have to rewatch it. So obviously it was very cringeworthy, and I don't use that term often, but it was very cringeworthy that the show, that Hayden would talk about his dog that way. As sort of a way to curry favor with Rachel. He's like, well, my dog's going to die. He's only got 60 days left. So every day that I'm here with you, just know I could be with my dog. So hope you vote for me, that type of deal. Kim Gorin, breaking news here. Kim says, almost shit her pants in a Dollarama today. I don't even know what a Dollarama is, but that sounds fantastic. Hopefully they gave you some, I don't know what they sell at a Dollarama. I'm assuming it's a dollar store, but hopefully they took care of you out there, Kim. See, Rachel, join the community here. You might feel better. Rachel's got a bad day because one guy turned down her rose, and Kim's over here shitting her pants in a Dollar Tree. Life comes at you fast, so does Thai food. All right, folks, here we go. Let's keep the party going. Thanks for the info. No one can overshare in my community. Not at all. We love all of you guys. All right, we're jumping and jiving. Let's see. Let's go to Chrissy in Pittsburgh.
Hey Dave, Chrissy G from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I have an idea. I would love to see a Batch Nation trivia game.
Oh, did I already do that? Sorry, I already did that one there. Thank you so much for the call. Did we do Emily yet?
Dave, this is Emily from Pennsylvania.
Hi, Emily.
I'm so upset because I cannot watch The Bachelorette because there's a tornado warning right now going on. I hope everyone's safe, but at the same time, I was ready. I had my wine ready. I'm ready to watch The Bachelorette. Ready for some drama. I'll be ready for your recap because I'm missing everything, apparently. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Well, sorry that you had a tornado warning happening. I mean, good golly, God, can we not do tornadoes doing a Bachelorette? You know what I mean? Save that for a Thursday or something. Okay, here we go. Let's go. Amy in Houston, you're up.
Hi, Dave. It's Amy in Houston, and I'm just watching the show, and why is Rachel making it all about herself? It's Gabby's date. She just got invited to come along. And once again, here goes the tears. I'm so sick of her being so self-centered. Anyway, I'm not sure if anybody else feels that way, but it was such a fun date, and she just turned it into a Debbie Downer. Anyway, bye!
Yeah, the old womp womp. The old womp womp womp. I should get the womp womp sound. Let's see if I can find the womp womp sound. Womp womp sound. Let's see if we can do that right here. Let's see if there you go. I got the womp womp sound. Okay, anyway, the voicemail line is wide open if anyone wants to call in. I just got through all of your voicemails. 401-213-9828. I'm going to be going live tomorrow morning on the Patreon at patreon.com/Dave Neal. And also, tomorrow I am doing an unboxing at noon Pacific time. My customized suit has arrived from Indochino. I was measured for this suit. It was sent out to be made. I'm going to be revealing it tomorrow and doing my first try-on. And next Friday, I'll get any alterations if I need any. Alterations or altercations, either way. Okay, let's get into this. Logan, now, excuse me. Anybody have any thoughts on Logan? Feel free to call the voicemail line. He, like I said, is saying in his testimonial that he wants to reconsider his time with Gabby. Here's what he knows. Let's like break this down mano a mano. Logan doesn't like Rachel. Clearly he doesn't like Rachel. He's seen it's just not for him. What's so funny is, and again, I empathize with Rachel when it comes down to like how she's feeling, you know, she's storming in and everyone's like, that doesn't look like a happy Rachel. Like, I empathize. I get it. It sucks. She's trying to like straighten these guys out. Why didn't any of you guys talk to me? All the guys are like, we were watching a boxing match. You know, like boxing's fun to watch. I thought we'd talk to you after, you know? I don't think that's that attractive of a way to like win somebody over. I'll tell you that. But I do think it's good to be like, hey, who's here? You know, I think if Rachel's got 8 guys left and that convinces 3 of the guys, like, I'm not really into her. It's like ride or die. You're either with me, you love me at my best, you love me at my worst. Or, you know, someone like Logan goes, oh boy, well, I think Gabby's more my type. Now, if you ask me, I don't think Gabby's good for Logan either. I mean, Gabby's, 5 years older than Logan? I just don't see it happening. But as one of the callers said earlier, Logan, I mean, he's been sort of a good recruit for this show for a while now. So the show likes him. I just don't think it's a good match there. All right. And again, who would be a good match in Bachelor Nation? We'll have to see what happens after this season. There might be something else that goes down for him, you know?
Yellow again.
Yellow.
Sydney from Canada. Can we talk about the France dates? We haven't broached the subject of how super cringy Rachel's date was. I was having a hard time watching that. Anyways, I'm going to work on talking faster. And bye. Bye.
Thanks for calling in. Yeah, the kissing date. I mean, they're making out with their hands. I don't know. That's foreplay for you, baby. Look, you know, they wanted to incorporate the French somehow. I don't know why they. I don't know. You know, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you with this. Rachel was so embarrassed. You could tell by her body. I'm no body language expert, but you know, body language expert Dave over here. But she was so embarrassed at the guys crawling onto her, and like, it's almost like what we're seeing with Rachel. Again, not a psychologist, but we're seeing like very different from Claire, but also very similar with some of the I think anxiety in social situations. I think Rachel's doing a lot better one-on-one with the guys. I think the fact that Rachel had her rose rejected in front of the other guys was more offensive to her and triggered more of her limbic flare than the actual rejection in the first place. Because as you remember, she said, I got rejected in front of everybody. And like, we have to remember, this unearths trauma. You know, you didn't get picked on the kickball team in 3rd grade. You know, we've all got things that like trigger us in different ways. So what we're seeing with Rachel is she doesn't like being embarrassed in front of everybody, which is the same we saw with Claire. Remember when Claire went and the guys didn't immediately try to tongue punch her, you know, try to tonsil hockey her? She's like, oh, you guys aren't even into me? You know, we saw that with Claire. We saw that anxiety of maybe trying to be on in front of multiple people. So we're starting to see some trends here with Rachel. It doesn't make her a bad person. Okay? If you're in a relationship, or if you enter a relationship and you start to see what someone's triggers are, they're not a bad person. They just haven't yet been able to cope with the thing that sets off their mood. Okay? And that's all right. That's for them to work on. And I think a healthy relationship is one where you can notice each other's triggers. I mean, Tasha and I will tell you, we've been together for so long. We still unearth moments in our relationship where I go, I can't believe that set you off. I can't believe, and I hate it. If I'm taking her photo and like pretend this is my phone, there's a fly in my way. If I'm trying to take a photo of Tasha and she'll be like, no, hold it like this, and she'll like move my hand, I get so wildly triggered, and I never realized this before. I had to go, Tasha, don't touch me. Don't touch me if I'm taking your photo and you try to move it. Get away. Tell me what you want, but that's not going to work. I was like, I don't know what it is from my childhood or from whatever, but the second you start touching my hand when I'm taking a photo, I lose my mind. Another example. The other night, and maybe you guys have examples of, like, let me know in the comments or leave a voicemail. Is there something in your relationship that wildly triggers you? You know, sometimes people, it's just the sound of someone chewing, you know. I remember, so the other night we got our weighted blanket. You guys know, if you follow my stand-up, I've been telling a bunch of jokes about my weighted blanket here. Here's my stand-up channel if you want to check it out. Dave Neal stand-up comedy clips. I got the weighted blanket joke somewhere around there. Where is the weighted blanket joke? Maybe I don't have it. I got to get it going. Either way, we got the weighted blanket, and I sleep hot, so I generally sleep on top of the blankets until my body temperature cools down, then I get underneath. And Tasha tried to pull the blanket up, and she got so mad at me. Like, big fight, so mad at me that she couldn't pull the blanket up. And I was like, honey, like, what? Why is this bothering you? Like, we had to unpack it. And she was like, well, she was like, for 8 years, you're always on top of the blankets, and I want to be underneath them. And it goes back and forth. And I go, okay, honey, listen. We need a term for this. Let's call it turn down service, right? So why don't we just say, rather than just getting mad that I'm on top and you're underneath and you're trying to pull the blankets, why don't we just say, all right, babe, time for turn down service? And she goes, shouldn't you know by now? And I go, no. We cannot assume anything out of anybody. So sure enough, the next night she goes, babe, turn down service. And I was like, yes, amazing. Words. I can hear words. I understand that. I'm not a mind reader. We did the turn down service, and then we had this overly embracing moment there where we were like, see, look, we worked it out. Part of overcoming your traumas and your triggers is to see the hurdle before you run into it full speed, slide out of the way, and go around it. That is the best way to overcome things, is not to react to them, but to avoid them in the first place. And we got a gold star for that. In 8 years into a relationship, or 2 months in, or 20 years, you're going to continue to unearth things that could piss you off, that could ruin a vacation, that could ruin a marriage. And if you learn what your triggers are, and you listen to your heart rate, and you take deep breaths, and you give your partner the benefit of the doubt that everyone's trying the best with the information you have, then maybe you can get over those a lot quicker. Next voicemail. We got only one more, so if anyone wants to leave a voicemail, 401-213-9828, go ahead.
Bruce from Oregon.
Bruce.
Dave, next week's pre-show stream should be called the Dave Neal Cocktail Hour, because The Bachelor keeps canceling all the cocktail parties, so the cocktail party market is wide open. Totally available. All right.
I'm in.
Yellow. Let's get it. Bye.
Bye. All right, we'll do the cocktails here. I'm looking for my phone. Stu says that she tagged me. She said, Elizabeth said she watched The Bachelorette from her... yeah, I can't do this on my phone, on my computer. She said, "Where is my phone? Would you, if I go away for 5 seconds, will you guys give me 5 seconds? I'll tell you what. We have 317 people in the chat. I have to go run and get my phone so I can look at what was just sent to me. We will be back here in. I'm gonna play this promo one more time. I'll be back in 30 seconds.
I have been wondering this so much lately. Like, how did Dave Neal rise to prominence in the YouTube space when there are so many women who cover the show with such thought and nuance?
In a world of mediocrity, where the cocktail parties keep getting canceled, a power recap empire like no other. Prepare to digress. Prepare to be disgruntled. Prepare to be informed. Prepare to be entertained. Oh my god. Rise your finger up and onto the like button. Prominent this video an odd number of times. It's time to rise with prominence with Bachelor Nation News. And your host, the one, the only, Dave Neal!
Yeah! All right, so I was mentioned, I don't see a mention here, Stu. You said you mentioned me in your stories, but I just don't see him. Can you confirm that? She said, watch the show tonight with the projector on the patio with my babe. It was so fun. Dave, I tagged you in on Insta. Oh, maybe you tagged me like it was a photo? So maybe you tagged me in the... I figured it was a story. But let's see if you tagged me here. I don't see any of this. All right, where is it? No, I don't see it. I don't see it. All right, let me know. Let me know if I'm missing something. I ran out there and got my phone. Okie dokie. Let's see if we have any voicemails. No, we're all caught up on voicemails. So, Hayden, yeah, I mean, let's go and see if we have anything from Hayden here, because unfortunately, not a good look for him. Probably best for him to just sort of lay low for a little bit, because I don't think it was the end of the world, what he said or did. Also, oh, he did leave a comment. Okay, here it is. Let's find Hayden. Let's find Hayden. Here's what he said 26 minutes ago. For those who watched tonight's episode, you saw me at my absolute worst and lowest moment. I have always tried to carry myself with humility and respect for others. However, my complete lapse of judgment was not only disappointing, but it was absolutely unacceptable. I genuinely want to express my deepest apologies to both Gabby and Rachel for my actions. And then his posts were turned off. So here they are. This was from their photo shoot that they did, and that's a great looking photo, by the way. Yeah, so there they are. There they are. Let's go to our next voicemail.
Hey Dave, it's Dr. Tori from Connecticut. I really just I'm in because there's so many comments already about Rachel being dramatic, whiny, and all of these things, and it's super frustrating. She's entitled to every feeling she's having. But these guys, whether it's bringing up stuff from past relationships, it doesn't matter. Let's also remember, that the drama, the producers, let a woman feel however she feels.
Oh, it looks
Thanks. Bye.
I really loved the voicemail, but it was choppy there, so I couldn't hear. But she said she's entitled to every feeling she's having. These guys, whether it's bringing up stuff from the past relationship, it doesn't matter. Let's remember that. Okay, yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you there. Obviously, the show could have done a better job at protecting her. I wonder what the more outspoken people like Caitlin Bristow. Now, Caitlin said she was quitting the show. Please, someone give us Rambo's GoFundMe. Grocery store knows dog, knowing he would be back in less than 2 weeks. Please let me know how Hayden's dog is and if he got his stuffy back. That's literally all I care about right now. How do we feel about PDA? Yay or nay? I'm going to be sick. Okay. 2 hours ago. We're not pitting the women against each other. Yeah, someone had said this is why the show didn't want Caitlin as the host. But honestly, all of this pitting that is happening on is all post-production. So, Stu, I got your message on Facebook, but I can't save it right now. So maybe I'll try to look at it for tomorrow's stream. Because my CPU is maxed out. I am maxed out, guys. All right, so 300 or so in the chat. Good to see you. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and like this video an odd number of times. It really helps me out. B. Bean said, Logan is a wimp. Look, I don't know if those are words we need to use. Wimp? I don't know. What about Logan is a wimp? He's not that into Rachel. And for his journey, he wants to let her know as soon as possible. So please defend your reasoning there. B. Bean said, Logan could have corrected this weeks ago. Well, weeks ago to us is days to them. Maybe Logan wanted to make sure that he wasn't, it's like, look, he chose Rachel and then kind of thought he was into her, goes to the boxing match, sees Gabby over there and he goes, oh no, Rachel's not the one. My thought is it's less about Gabby and more that he realized Rachel wasn't the one. So Kenya says Rachel is Claire vibes. Yep. And I love Claire. You guys know that. Looks like I'm kind of far behind. Erica Powley said Dave and Logan sitting in a tree. I don't think I'm unfairly commenting on the Logan situation here. Nicole said Logan is super charming. To be honest, I think he'll get along with Gabby really well. Yeah, my guess is that neither one are for him. Trying to see. Sophia said Logan is in a tough spot, but he still should have said something or tried to talk to one or both of the girls. Look, I agree with you, but we have to remember it's a TV show. The producers are stretching this out. They know when they look at the storyboard of the season, they go, okay, we have episode 1 to 3. That's going to be short-term drama. Hayden, that's going to be... Okay, episode 4, Hayden's going to be the big drama. All right. Oh, but Logan wants to talk to Rachel in episode 4? No. Pull it back. Don't let... And then they talk to each other. Don't let Logan near Rachel. You know what I mean? It's going to come out. You know what I mean? It's almost like, hey, let's just... They can only have so much... They got to just slowly spread the drama out. We know that. And anyway, it's not like... If Rachel didn't have time to spend with Logan, it's not like Logan's wasting her time. Do you know what I mean? Have we had a super chat? Live stream rules. No name calling, no creep. Super chats appreciated. I know we got a bunch beforehand, so much appreciated. I just wanted to see if I was missing on thanking anybody, but I think we're all good. Trying to get... Oh, it looks... Oh, you know what? I have to apologize. I am so far behind. Sometimes my chat, I know Kim, we talked, and everyone else, all of my lovely ladies and men out there, know if you could only see my screen. Sometimes I think I'm caught up on people's comments. I've been literally commenting on like 3 years ago's comments. I'm so far behind. So here's what I'm going to do. If someone asked me a question that you didn't get answered and you really want an answer, leave me a comment again. Because I'm just going to blow through. All right, I'm back up top. Emily says Logan is in a super tough spot. It won't matter even if he tells Gabby his feelings. He's behind now. Just unfortunate, but things will work out for him. Yeah, I don't think Logan's going to be super hated for flip-flopping. I think it's fair. It's like if you were in a bar and you met one person or you ended up liking someone else, it'd be just like for drama's sake, I look forward to it, but it's kind of like a non-story to me. All right, let's go to the next voicemail.
Hey Dave, it's Isabella from Central Florida.
Isabella.
Man, the ending was very, very, very messy. I think Logan made a big mistake not rejecting the rose, because I think, why he rejected it is because last time the other guys rejected it, it looked bad. But it's even worse when you don't reject it, in my opinion. And I think he made a big mistake. Definitely going to be planted as a villain for next episode. Honestly, and the other guy, Hayden, it's crazy because he's not the worst guy. He's not the worst villain either. He seems like somewhat of a nice guy, but it's just, it's bad. He did, but not that bad. Like, it's reasonably understanding some of the things of what he said, but I don't know. But it's funny because the whole dog thing, it kind of reminds me of my brother when he took out my dog who was a puppy at the time, and he was like a girl magnet to everybody. I'm telling you, girls love guys with dogs, especially extremely cute dogs. And I don't know, and especially guys are even cuter if they like cats. It makes a guy look very trustworthy, and if a cat trusts you, that means you're a really great guy.
Oh no, I don't.
Anyways, yeah, hopefully this episode Rachel finds out about Logan and she gets through it, and at the end gets engaged. Also Gabby too, and yeah. Bye.
Yeah,
have a good night.
I love it. Have a good night. I love how even Stevens. I hope they both get engaged. I hope they both come in their fantasy suites. I hope they both get knocked up on the same night. I hope they, yeah, we want them to do well. All right. Speaking of bachelorettes, I made tri-tip beef stew for my bachelorette, Tasha Courtney. That was me. She's like a little baby bird. Give me the food. Give me the food. And I'm like, after the photo, Instagram eats first. Speaking about guys with dogs, I've been lucky enough to inherit this dog from my better half. This is the dog's bed, and he sleeps next to our bed. And this morning, by the way, he pooped at 4:30 in the morning. I cleaned it up. He pooped in the bedroom. Like, what? We have an old dog. Anyway, there he is. He's sleeping, and he puts his ears over his eyes. That's how big his ears are. He knows how to put his ears over his eyes, but not his nose, and then that way he can get a better sleep. He's like a teenager, you know what I mean? He doesn't want to be bothered. Laziest dog ever. But again, I gotta say, here's what I'll say about Hayden. You use whatever tools you have, and at the time he probably thought he wasn't having the best connection with Rachel, so he would bring his dog into the mix. It's one of those things, if your connection's going well, I feel like the dog thing hits. But Rachel, she felt bad for Hayden, but what happened? As soon as they were interrupted, Rachel's like, all right, I'm sorry. Oh, that nice story. All right, let me move it on. And then Hayden was like, she didn't give me more time, which means there was a contingency to Hayden opening up with Rachel. I will open up with you if you give me more time. I mean, not a good look. Not a good look. Kim says, I think Logan is going to take a lot of heat, but I don't think tonight was a black and white decision. I agree that he's going to take heat. I don't think it's going to be... I think so far, what we've seen is a man being honest and saying, I want to talk to her. Hey, she's the one who canceled the cocktail party. Like we always say, these things get canceled because the show's got enough drama and they kind of want to sequester people. This is kind of what they want to do. They want to keep people apart so they don't exactly share what they want to share right away. I think we saw this on Clayton season as well. So yeah, we've had interesting moments with Rachel, but it was kind of nice for her to think back on Clayton and be like, Clayton made me feel special. Clayton was the lead, and yet he still made me feel special. I'm sure that was probably, I know Rachel didn't mean that to be in any way sort of, complimentary to Clayton. But I'm sure he took it that way. I'm sure he was like, all right, that's kind of nice. She was into me. I mean, Rachel probably was falling in love with Clayton. Whether it's love or not. I mean, they're in the fantasy suite. They're down to the top 3. She was really into that guy. And this thing filmed, 4 to 6 weeks after that? I mean, when we watched the After the Final Rose, Rachel was still very angry. And, look, I'm not, like Dr. Tori called in. By the way, Dr. Tori, if there's anything, I know our actual psychologists that watch here don't love to sort of diagnose armchair style, but if there's anything you can tell us from a professional standpoint regarding Rachel versus Gabby, I'm all ears. Okay, well, the live stream lasts longer when we get voicemail, so now is your chance to call in, 401-213-9828. Feels like we sort of settled some of the drama in the sense that Hayden was a quick exit. Again, perfect first half of the show villain. He says things that come off wrong. I don't know if he compared Rachel's boobs to his ex. I don't really understand exactly what was happening. And then he also said something about they can't hold a flame to my ex. And I wonder, could it, and again, this is a stretch, but I'm giving benefits of the doubt here. Could Hayden have been talking about the new guys that are dating his ex and saying, oh, the new guys couldn't hold a candle to my ex? As in, my ex was a good person and better off than the guy she's dating. I don't know. Is that a stretch? I'm gonna have to rewatch it. I'm not here to try to pretend like he didn't say or do what he did. But I have a hard time taking the benefit of the doubt from the producers. Celeste said, Dave, I think Logan needs to make a decision on what he wants soon. I don't blame him for having feelings for Gabby as well. Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, because he hasn't even conversed with Rachel, he hasn't really lost any time as far as like leading one on versus the other. He's kind of he hasn't been on the one-on-ones. Obviously, Tino, Jason, these are the Zach, right? These are the top tier for Rachel and Gabby contestants right now. What we have to remember, and also, here's another thing that makes me surprised at how angry Rachel can get. She must know who her top 2 or 3 are. She must know. Like, imagine if you were forced to date 8 men. You got to keep X amount of them around every week. You get rid of 1 or 2 a week, whatever. You know who your top 2 are. You know it already. Now, it doesn't mean they're not going to blow it, but you go, I like Zach, I like Tino. These are the 2 guys I like. So why is she so mad? I mean, I don't think she thinks Logan is for her. He hasn't gotten a one-on-one, right? I don't know. But it's their journey too. So obviously, a rough go for Rachel as far as Twitter goes. We'll read a few more comments in a minute. Let's go to our next voicemail.
Hey, Dave, it's Karen from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada again. I'm wondering if maybe the producers said to Meatball, oh, did you hear when Hayden said this? And that's where Meatball got some of the things that we didn't hear. Just my opinion. Have a great night. Bye.
Could it be? Yeah, absolutely. And Nicole says, would love to have heard the entire conversation about the ex-girlfriend comparison. I mean, you don't get me wrong, never underestimate other people's stupidity. That's what I've learned by reading the comment section. That's what I learned from going on Reddit. That's what I learned from, okay, but these aren't idiots. I know sometimes they're talking with the buddies. Look, some of the things I say, not necessarily, some of the things we say to people to try to enlarge in our position in a hierarchy. Subtle bragging, subtle like good things that are going on in our life. We do it all the time. It's just a way of trying to like measure up in society. I mean, maybe it's just me living in Hollywood. Every single person I meet, hey, how you doing? Well, I had an audition yesterday. All right, just want to know if you were doing okay. I booked a gig. You know what I mean? It's like we're constantly trying to like show people that we're quote unquote verified. And we see that happening on the show. We see that with Hayden and other people. We see that every season people go, oh yeah, I've dated hot girls and whatever. And they're not trying to brag to be like, I've dated hot girls. Psychologically, they're trying to say, this group of guys that I'm with, I deserve to be in here. I have a position and a rank within this little hierarchy. You know what I mean? That's just a simple thing. That's what it is. It doesn't make it right, but it's just like the quiet, confident person knows where they are. They don't need to be Queen Victoria and walk in with a tiara and make it all about them. They just know their position. Not everyone's there. Not everyone's there. Great phone calls, everybody.
Hi, Dave. It's Mary from Wisconsin again.
Hi, Mary.
Just leaving another voicemail since you ran out of them. Something I noticed, and I don't know if other people caught this, I feel like some of the times that they were showing Hayden on the couch, kind of shitting on Gabby and Rachel, he was definitely talking to a producer and not Meatball, because they just show his side of him sitting on the couch, and then they cut to Meatball, like, standing up. Like, they're definitely not both sitting on the couch. So, like, he very well might have said those things, but I don't think he said them directly to Meatball. Let me know what you think. Thanks.
Yeah,
Bye.
good point. And here we have, Nicole says there's absolutely no nuance with this fandom sometimes. You know, Nuance is my middle name. Really, it's Dave Nuance Neal. No, it's Coleman. My middle name's Coleman. Dave Coleman Neal. David. My real name's David. Spoiler. The whole, but don't call me David. Don't be a weirdo. I judge people for calling me David. Okay, so, yeah, thank you so much for the call in Wisconsin, Mary. Appreciate you. Yeah, we don't know. There's a reason the show, one of the main reasons, one of the main things the guys can't do after they've been on the show is dispute the edit. And I'm sure on Clickbait and all these other Bachelor podcasts, they're going to go, oh, he's the worst, this and that. I don't know. I mean, the producers, oh man, I really feel like it. I really do. I feel like they could ask Hayden, hey, they could say, Hayden, how would, you've dated girls when you went to Clemson? I'm making this up. I'm going to be the producer. Oh, Hayden, all right, yeah, we'd like to just talk to you, blah, 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 shoot the shit, Oh, you dated a girl, you dated a blonde girl from Clemson? How was Rachel like her? Well, Rachel's shorter than my ex-girlfriend, but I can only imagine when your job as a producer, in your livelihood, bonuses and longevity of a producer, your livelihood is getting good content out of people, is to wonder, how can we get these guys to say shit that's going to make them look bad? Again, I'm not saying that's what happened with Hayden, but we've seen enough malarkey that how do we not question it? Oh, alrighty then. Well, voicemail line's wide open, 401-213-9828. You know what? I don't have the voicemail line open on this number here. Let's see if I can put it here just so, hold on. Voicemail line is 213. I almost gave away my own number. 9828. Okay, let's just put this right here. That way people can call the voicemail line if they want to. And let's just read some more of your comments. Yeah, but it sucks for Hayden. It's like, not only do you have to walk off the boat, but then you've got to, and also like, I wonder if they don't film it all while the boat's moving. But also, I do remember we tracked the boat. These boats move incredibly slow. And how expensive is it? And not to mention how, unenvironmental or how environmentally horrible cruise ships are. They really are. You hear about cruise ships let's do this. Let's just look. Cruise ship, I'm going to search cruise ship pollution. Cruise ship pollution, Alaska. I mean, you see this. Yeah. They, cruise ship air quality is bad as cruise ship air quality as bad as world's most polluted cities. Cruise ship hits iceberg.
2.0. Oh
Yikes.
my God.
Let's hope it's not Titanic. Caught on camera, a Norwegian cruise liner crashes into ice off the coast of Alaska.
Yikes.
The ship hit a large piece of ice broken off from a glacier. Officials say dense fog and low visibility caused that collision. Fortunately, there were no injuries. The ship did return.
Ice bug right ahead. Ship pollution.
It was an orchestrated, tugboat-driven, waterborne ballet through the mists of fireboat fountains. There's a reason the ship is divided into 7 neighborhoods, including Central Park and the Boardwalk, because it literally is a floating town. Almost 3,000 staterooms, 6,780 guests. Supersized, gargantuan.
I'm just reading.
These ships just
I'm reading the comments, guys. I know I missed a super chat. Trying to find it. Oh, Kenya with a super chat. Dave, what do you think about the date with Jason? Oh boy, good. I mean, Jason, he's a quiet guy. Those dates are always hard. Oh, hold on. We just lost it.
He complains his partner has asthma and that the air quality is a serious health concern because of ships burning low-grade, dirty diesel fuel.
Some of these cruise ships, like the Navigator of the Seas behind us, that's probably got the power demand of a 50,000 population town. So it's got air conditioning, electrics, you name it, people there. That is power hungry. So that is pumping.
I love Sophia. We can call him Linen Shirt Dave, Long Hair Dave, Power Recap Dave, but David, hells no. That's right. Know your role. Pretty soon it'll be Linen Suit Dave. Okay, Linen Suit Dave. All right, let's go to BachelorNation.scoop. If there's any sort of breaking news we missed, they'll probably have it. So let's just see. Wait, how did we make Gabby's date about Rachel? Got that one. Got that one. Rachel, the guys aren't looking at me. What the guys see from the other side of the arena. There it is. The guys listening to Rachel the whole time. What have we done to deserve this? Hasn't this woman been through enough? That date consisted of 2 strangers making out, men licking their own hands, and Rachel sniffing the armpit of a man called Meatball. Okay, Tyler, I see you. You know the rules. Last rose ceremony. Okay, man, it sure seemed like you were making the rules up as you went along. Hayden pulled the dog card. I feel for Hayden's dog, but if he only has a few months, why is he on the show? I know, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I'm not going to judge him, but that's a tough one. Hayden's dog, waiting for him to bring back the stuffed animal that got him through chemo. Meatball just earned 100 points in my book because he didn't hold back at all. Someone said Meatball's a producer plant, and it kind of makes sense. Look, I don't really know if any of these guys are quote-unquote producer plants, but I do think there are some that, like, they know they're not going far. Like, no offense to Meatball, it just doesn't. It seems like his job's there, there to tattletale a little bit, and that's just, that's his service. Teresa said some troll named Sam I Am the other day got mad at Dave promoting his Patreon and called him David. Oh yeah, that's crossing the line. Absolutely crossing the line. You know what wouldn't cross the line? If we actually got a couple new Patreon members tonight. Again, I'll be going live tomorrow. I think I've been pretty honest with you guys, but I do have to kind of watch what I say. I don't want to offend people. I'm going to give it to you guys real and hard on the Patreon tomorrow, patreon.com/Dave Neal. I'm going to give you guys the extra goods of what I think about Rachel and Gabby and how it's all coming out. Okay, let's see here. The audacity levels are off the chart considering he said this on camera. Did Hayden say it on camera? I've been comparing my ex. I don't know. Yeah, we just don't know. It's like we used to say, oh, someone said something on camera. And now I'm more like, okay, but what were the optics? Why did they say something? Who were they talking to? What did they say before and after what they said? Like, these are all just very simple and yet very important things. We'll go to Bachelor data in a second here. What the F, Hayden? First you're mean to Gabby and now you're telling us that your dog is dying? Go home. That's not nice. No, Logan, you cannot accept a rose from Rachel just to pursue Gabby. Well, why not? Is this a weird bid for paradise? Gabby is not going to pick you, bro. You saw what she did to all those boys who turned down Rachel's rose. Hey, we'll have to see. We'll have to see if Gabby lets Logan stick around for a little bit. Hayden is currently the most hated man on The Bachelorette. Logan said, hold my chick. No, honestly, I'm not just saying this because I do think Logan's a good guy. I don't see him getting the edit. Again, we'll see. I don't see him getting that edit that they gave Hayden. I don't know. We'll have to see. Another week, another apology. Oh, do we not see the bottom? Oh, no, we got all that. And that was the end of it. Okay, that's all we have there. Any other comments here? I think we're all up to date. Any more voicemails? That might be it. I don't know if we have anything else to say. Did we get through all of it? I feel like I'm being a little redundant. Trying to read those. Tiffany said, Google Taylor Swift's carbon footprint. Yeah, Taylor Swift. So obviously, Taylor Swift statement. So obviously she's been getting criticized a bunch about her jet. And look, I think, these private jets are interesting. You take a private jet, which is like the pinnacle moment for, like say you make it as a comic and you get to fly to a gig in a private jet. And then all of a sudden, people will go, oh my gosh, that's the worst thing in the world. I don't know how much worse a private jet is from commercial flying. I'm sure it is a lot worse, but it does appear that Taylor Swift's private jet was chartered to a bunch of people. Again, I don't know how many people are flying in her private jet. If you're like, I think the Kardashians like took their private jet from Calabasas, which is like an hour outside of LA, on like a 5-minute ride. That's way more egregious than, say, if you're flying in a private jet with your crew to a gig and you've got all of your equipment on you. Like, I need to know more about Taylor Swift's private jet usage to sort of slam her. But at the same time, I haven't been one to slam other people for their private jet usage. I think that there are a lot of other much bigger issues with overcoming how a lot of corporations pollute and things like that I think are more damaging than the added up private jet usage. I could be wrong. So Taylor says, Taylor's jet is loaned out regularly to other individuals. To attribute most or all of these trips to her is blatantly incorrect. So it's like if Taylor owns a plane that has 170 trips, but she used 5 of them, then what should she be guilty for all 170? It's almost like they're gonna if they don't use Taylor's plane, they're gonna use somebody else's, right? Anyway, that's just my thought. The aircraft had an average flight time of 80 minutes and traveled 140 miles. The plane's shortest flight, which traveled from Missouri to Nashville, clocked in at just 36 minutes. So is a longer private jet time better? Kylie Jenner faced backlash online after she posted a photo on Instagram of her and Travis Scott standing in front of their 2 planes with the caption, "You want to take mine or yours?" A 17-minute flight from her private jet publicized by the Celeb Jets account went viral. Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting stuff. Wait, Sarah said I was on that cruise. You were on the cruise that got hit? Hold on, I'm pretty far behind. I'm trying to read your comments. I did say real and hard. Logan probably won't be the last guy that wants to switch. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That would be interesting. I think at this point, I don't think anyone else is going to switch, but maybe. How you doing, honey? You want to say hi to everybody? Tasha's in. Why? It's because you're not in your. Tasha's in your PJs. I showed the photo of me feeding you your beef stew. Pretty good beef, huh? Emily Marie said, remember Shanae? These villains are barely scratching the surface. Yeah, and without getting into any spoilers, we may see more villain on villain dating. We'll just say that. Kim said, go to Bachelor Data's stories. Okay, let's see Bachelor Data. And then we might, I think Bachelor Data tagged me in these stories, and I just haven't had a chance to check them out yet. Villain analysis.
Comments comparing me to your ex.
Dude, I've been comparing my ex to, like this.
Your ex?
No.
You didn't?
My dumbass uses the same verbiage that Gabby uses to describe herself, and she didn't like that.
Here's the thing. I got to talk to Susanna. She says she doesn't get the episodes early, but how does she have this content? Susanna, I'm telling you, if you're getting these episodes early and you're not sharing the wealth with me, I will start a war. I will dig in, and I will not forgive you, Susanna, at Bachelor Data. Don't go there with me. I'll drive over there. I'll take Taylor Swift's private jet.
Well, bitch, maybe you shouldn't use that word to describe yourself then. I don't speak like that. Okay. That's not my character. Respect you as a woman, and I heard you. Thanks.
We have some new villains on The Bachelorette after episode 4, and I'm here to comfort you with some data on how far villains make it on The Bachelorette. I took a poll over on Instagram with all my Instagram followers, and I charted out how far villains made it on the last 15 seasons of The Bachelorette. Now, the range of villains changes from season to season. Some seasons have multiple villains, and some have more aggressive villains, while others seem a little bit more edited. So here's the last 5 seasons, and 5 seasons before that, and 5 seasons before that. And what you can tell is that
Susan and I would never have beef. Susanna and I would never have beef. No beef. We're vegan. Susanna and I are vegan. But she does have nice graphics, and I'm like, Susanna, oh, Susanna. Yeah. Okay, I think Logan is going to touch sand. Kenya says, I think Logan is going to touch sand. Updated cast list with all the ages. We don't need that. Get buzzwords. New post. We got that. All right. This is your warning. I will be sharing stories with reels and posts here in my stories from tonight. If you don't, so she made stories an hour ago with the villains. Now, this all came from tonight's episode. How did she get this? Susanna, tell us. Tell us, Susanna. How did you get the footage? Don't lie to us, Susanna. The truth is out there. All right, we're wrapping it up. Last chance for voicemails. Last chance, 41213-9828. Boy, and if you want to go watch a movie, go see Purple Hearts after this on Netflix. Golly. All right.
Bonjour, Dave.
Bonjour, ça va?
Now, I know I'm calling late, but, I got to spend time with Dan before he gets to work. Okay, so anyway, I have a lot to say, but I'm going to try to get through this quickly, but I'm not good at that. Okay, so first of all, with the whole Logan thing, leave him alone. They were supposed to compete all together, then they want to split up the guys. They didn't have much time to get with the girls. Now, Jesse should have said something. It was up to him to say something. Anyway, Rachel, leave her alone. Stop giving her a hard time. Once again, I just want everyone to be treated well at this point. I'm like, no. Okay, this is a hard situation. You're going to get emotional. And yeah, she's going to be a little jealous against Gabby because she's got more guys. So I'm like, it's a tough situation to be in. So let's try to be nice to everybody. Why did we just skip over the whole Meatball thing? Am I crazy? Why? I'm so confused. And is that all I had to say? Probably not, but I know you want me to keep it short. Okay, so see y'all later. Bye.
Bye,
Cheers
Sophia.
to crew. Love
Bye,
you, Dave.
Sophia. You have carte blanche, to use French words here. You have carte blanche to leave the most rambling voicemails ever. You are okay in our book. Thank you so much for calling in from Montreal.
Bonjour, Dave. It's me again. I totally remembered.
Speak of the devil.
What I was going to say. But I forget that guy's name because I drank too much rosé. But yeah, the guy who left and he was talking about his ex, I'm pretty sure he's not over that girl. Whatever the situation is, he ain't ready for this. Second of all, the thing is, I don't know if he seemed to have said some things. It didn't look good for him. I know you want to think it's all the producers, but it didn't look good for him. And also, those guys totally didn't know that Rachel was going to be on the date. They didn't know. Those guys were oblivious. Like, I don't even know if they knew they were allowed to go over and talk to her.
True.
So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I'm sorry. I know I'm going to call a bunch of times. Okay? Deal with it. Sorry. Bye.
Bye. Appreciate you. Someone asked what Purple Hearts is. It's a new movie on Netflix. It's cheesy. It has an 86% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes and like a 22% tomato score, which means people that review movies suck. It was a good movie. It was fun. I cried. Okay. Tasha, did you cry watching Purple Hearts? You should come on the show and do movie reviews with me. I'll tell you what. No. I'll say this, Tasha, can you hear me? I don't think anybody watches as many Christmas movies as Tasha and I do. And I think we need to do like live stream movie reviews for Vlogmas this year. But the question is, since there are so many Christmas movies, should we start in November? Tasha says, yeah, we have to. But we need a proprietary blend. Hey, why don't you come on? Why don't you come on with me? Someone sent me $100 donation, but they said I can only cash it if Tasha comes in here. Tasha and we need to get a proprietary blend of like our version of Rotten Tomatoes. Maybe we could call it, what's the opposite of rotten? Ripe? Let's call it ripe. Ripe. What's a good thing? Ripe figs. What's a good Christmas ripe? I don't know. You guys can let me know. What's the opposite of Rotten Tomatoes? Ripe. See, I'm drawing a blank. Kim says yes. Hallmark Christmas reviews. Absolutely. One of these days I'll get my Christmas movie written. Oh, it's a good one. Yeah, Nicole, look, maybe I'm talking it up. I expected it to be bad and I kind of like it. It's a bad movie as far as like some of the line reads are horrible. It's definitely like a roll your eye movie, but it still was a good movie. I liked it. I also liked The Gray Man. As far as a thriller go, it was action packed. The fact that Netflix is giving us content like The Gray Man is wild. To think that wasn't on some sort of, like, I don't know why it didn't go to the movie theaters. I mean, it wasn't exactly the budget of Top Gun 2, but it had to have been $100+ million budget. Let's look it up. The Gray Man budget. Let's just look this up right now. Oh, look at that. A $200 million. The Gray Man is you got to be kidding me, Tasha. The Gray Man is the most expensive movie streaming giant Netflix has ever made. A budget of $200 million. No wonder Netflix lost money this quarter. They made a movie with Ryan Reynolds and a ton of amazing. They got Chris Evans, Billy Bob Thornton, and Anna de Armas. Guys, this is a good movie. You can borrow my password. I steal it from somebody else. Okay, let's move along. Should we get a power recap? The password's David. My password is David. The Sage says 86 isn't bad. No, 86 is great for an audience score. 86 is great. Yeah, Vlogmas this year, I think we're going to actually completely change things up and just make live content. Editing vlogs is exhausting and sort of, I mean, how many times can you like crush up a candy cane? So I think what we're going to do is set up a really nice live stream setup. So every day at maybe 4 p.m. or whenever, we'll have a glass of wine and we'll open a Christmas present and we'll just listen to some Christmas music and talk to people for Vlogmas this year. I think that's what we're going to do. Because I got to tell you, as much as I like making vlogs, it is so time consuming. B Bean says, Dave, list your top 5 Christmas movies from home. That's too hard to do. But I will say that Christmas Drop movie was pretty good. I think it was last year. There's always a couple. I can't think. Ripe Eggplants, Figgy Pudding. Nicole said, I thought The Gray Man was so much fun. Yeah, the Gray Man was, it was probably long, but it didn't feel long. Let's see what Rotten Tomatoes gives it. This is what's crazy. Rotten Tomatoes gives The Gray Man a 53%. Hogwash. Look at that. Audience score 91%. How is the audience enjoying it so much, but movie critics aren't? What the hell's wrong with people? At least this guy gave it 100%. It's a star-studded action film. We live in the golden age of streaming content. Anyway, none of this is important. I'm shocked we still have people watching. Let's see. Last chance for voicemails. No more voicemails. Are we at an hour? I think we went pretty nice and long. Oh, we did 75 minutes so far. So here's what you guys can do. If you enjoy me and you want to support the channel, I've got a Patreon, which is a private membership where I actually just do what we're doing right now. Basically, I make live stream content for the Patreon. That trailer that I made today, In a World, that whole thing, that was my voice, by the way. Did you know that? Did you guys know that was my voice? You probably understood. I'll just play the two. This is my voice.
I've been wondering this so much lately. Like, how did Dave Neal rise to prominence in the YouTube
Okay, so that's
space?
my voice. I just did the pitch thing. You guys get it. Anyway, I made that on the Patreon if you want to watch how it's done. I make all of the other content, like the different, sort of Photoshop. Let me just show you this right here. In case anyone's wondering, we just do this camera right here. and then I bring this all over. Hold on one second, and I'm just doing a pitch for the Patreon here. And then we do the secondary display, and you guys get to watch me make it all. You know, I go over here, I do this, you know, I make this thing, I take that out, you know, this, that, the other. I go through my different things, trying to figure out what I want to use, and we experiment. And if by any means, if anyone's trying to start their YouTube, I think it'd be pretty good to see how we make the channel work and be all successful, you know? Anyway, so that's what we do. If you want to be a part of the community, we go live mainly around 10 a.m. Pacific time, pretty much every work day. Tomorrow, noon Pacific time, I will be going live just from my laptop. I think I'm going to bring it into the kitchen so I have room for a runway, a catwalk, and I'm going to try on my wedding suit for the first time, 74 days before I get married. Teresa said, where are more of Tasha's Bachelorette fashion vids? She teased us with one. She owes us 3. You can DM Tasha for those. If you would like. What else? Read some comments. Oh, Peggy with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Peggy. Christmas movie reviews with Tasha. You know why? Because we love watching Christmas movies. So, like, we might as well just capitalize and, you know, we'll probably get the schedule of movies. What would be nice? You know what would be nice is if people could watch the movies with us and then we don't feel like, and then maybe in the live stream we discuss it afterwards. Does that make sense? Because it's kind of hard to have a full live stream discussing movies we saw. Although I guess we could like vaguely tell you if we liked them or not, like a hit or miss type of thing. But there are so many Christmas movies that come out that some really do stink. And some Christmas movies are so low budget, but they're still good. That's what's good about a Christmas movie. The Christmas spirit doesn't always translate to production quality. Rachel said, maybe you could vlog throughout the week and just do a once a week vlog and live stream the other days. Yeah, that's a great idea, Rachel. Absolutely. Make a couple vlogs. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll make a couple vlogs, a couple live streams. You guys will, we'll figure it out. We got a long way to go. Obviously, I don't have too much success in the vlog world. So any amount of time I spend making vlogs, it's really money. Like it's time and energy and money taken away from other work. But hey, that's okay. We love it. It's a ton of fun. And who knows? I mean, I'm trying to get some gigs in France. Maybe we'll do some vlogging from the Christmas markets of Bruges. Who knows? Nicole said, what are your top 2 predictions for each girl? Honestly, this isn't my area of expertise, to be quite honest. I don't know. I thought Eric, was a good guy, and Eric and Jason kind of, I kind of think they're the same person sometimes. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Thank you guys so much. Sarah said, show the suit. Maybe tomorrow morning I'll open it a little bit. But I haven't even opened it yet. This thing is sealed. I haven't opened it yet. So tomorrow, I'm not wearing shorts for the wedding. I am not. Last comments. Hey, 5 a.m. over there in Slovakia. Hello, Tina. Good to see you. All right. That's going to do it for me. I appreciate you guys so much. If you haven't checked it out, we have a Maddie Pruitt got engaged video that I made during tonight's episode. So go check that out after this. Catch up on any other content. Otherwise, I'll see you first thing in the morning. Everyone, have a good evening. Bye.
I have been wondering this so much lately. Like, how did Dave Neal rise to prominence in the YouTube space when there are so many women who cover the show with such thought and nuance?
In a world of mediocrity, where the cocktail parties keep getting canceled, a power recap empire like no other. Prepare to digress. Prepare to be disgruntled. Prepare to be informed. Prepare to be entertained. Oh my god. Rise your finger up and onto the like button. Prominent this video an odd number of times. It's time to rise with prominence with Bachelor Nation News. And your host, the one, the only, Dave Neal! In a world with no production value, a man decided to recap The Bachelor. And now, available only on Patreon, you can see Vintage Dave.
Okay, hello. This is my first review of Bachelor Season 20 with Ben Higgins. Bye. Caitlin Bristow's going to be pissed.